Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Coach Martin. So today we're either talking about business owners that actually have a business, or maybe you're thinking about doing a sports business. It doesn't matter. This is going to be titled Grow Your Vision, Grow Your Profits. So I'm going to give you 3 pieces that I want you to hold on to. So either one's going to apply. But first, I want to start with step 1. So I want you to do this. We're going to do an exercise. I want you to write down, what is your product? What is the product? I mean, is it a tangible product where it's a physical product that somebody gets? Maybe it's a service product. Maybe it's a membership, whatever that looks like. I want you to write down that product. So write down what your product is. Maybe you have multiple products. If you do, I want you to write down those multiple products. Now, if you have one product, we're going to get into it, and we want you to eventually have multiple products, but write down, what is that product that you sell? So I want you to write that down on paper. We're going to do this exercise. Okay. The second thing I want you to do is, based off that product, what space is it in? So let me give you an example. If I'm selling something, right, as an example, like a service where I train somebody, so maybe you're a trainer and you train athletes, then basically that's a space of time. So you have to physically be in front of somebody to train them. So if your space is time, I want you to write that down, time. If you have a space where time is not in the equation, maybe you sell a course where there's like a 5-week course, somebody can learn how to, run faster, jump higher, throw the shot put better, whatever the case is. That would be a space that is outside of time. So you have 2 types of spaces. You have a space where you're bound by time, and you have a space where you're outside of time. This is super, super important because if you have a product where it's bound based off time, you could scale for sure, but it's going to be very difficult, right? Because there's only so many hours in the day. So we got to get uber creative regarding that. Now, if you only have one product and it's bound by time and you're like, well, shoot, coach, now I'm depressed. No. There's hope. Don't get depressed. We're going to go into number 3. We're going to help you with it. So the number 3, who are your customers, right? Or what's that avatar? And what else do they need? So what else do they purchase? What else excites them? We're going to let it go. It's all right here. So like, what else? So I want you to think about this for a minute, right? So if I'm a trainer and I'm training an athlete to be able to run faster, what other products does that athlete, use? What do they purchase? What interests them? I want you to think about Now, you may not have the answer. You may have to dwell on this for a little bit. But I want you to think about it, right? Because odds are they're buying other things that they either need, they want, they probably a little bit of both. Maybe you can tap into that space as well, and now all of a sudden you have a business that's bringing you multiple products. This is super, super important. So I want to touch on these 2 items real quick. So number 2 and number 3. And I should have brought this up part on number 2 at the very end. I want to give you an example, time and space. So let's go back quickly to time and space. So time and space. So as an example, sometimes we have people that come on in Sportsbox and they're affiliates. So they're like, hey, I'm a coach, maybe not making a lot of money. I want to become an affiliate, and I could just share, somebody's stuff or the software or whatnot. And athletes, purchase it, and I make a little money as an affiliate, which is an amazing idea. But what happens is, over time, they end up becoming business owners. And now that they're a business owner, maybe they're used to getting paid only when they're in front of an athlete. So their whole professional career is they're in the space of time. They have to be in front of somebody to get paid. That's super, super hard to scale. Now we bring them in an environment where they can get paid in a lot of different areas through software without having to physically be there. Now all of a sudden they make money in all these areas while they're sleeping. It's a better model. So when I ask you I want you to really think about, like, what is your product? What space is it in? Let's figure out a way how we can get out of the time space and get you in a place where you're making money when you're sleeping. Super, super important. Now going to the number 3. So we're talking about, looking at products, doing this stuff like that. It's super, super important because, we want to be able to make available additional products that we can provide for people ultimately we don't just want to have one thing, because if I'm training an athlete, right, or let's say as an example, I'm a gym and my business is gym. And if I only focus on gym, I'm leaving a lot on the table. What else could be there that maybe somebody uses? Well, maybe 10% of the customers that come, maybe they forget their towel, right? So now all of a sudden, maybe if I have custom towels with the gym logo on them, I can offer them for sale when they come in. Now I know 10% of my clients are, that's something that they could purchase. So that would be a great example of bringing additional products on to what I do to service that same client. Now all of a sudden the client isn't just a client on one item, but that client could be a client on 8 items, 9 items, 10 items. It's super, super important. Now, if you're thinking, Coach, this is way over my head right now. I'm just trying to make my first $100 or whatever. Hey, I get that. We'll take it slow. Hey, we're here to help you 100% of the way. But we want you thinking bigger, right? Don't only think of that one item that you're offering. We want you to be able to be in spaces that are outside of time, and we want you to be able to learn how to add additional products to the customer or the avatar who you're currently dealing with right now. And by doing that, next thing you know, like I said, you're going to have 3 items, 4 items, 10 items that your customers are already purchasing, which is amazing. So that's the way you're going to want to do it. That's the way you want to handle business. Take those 3 things. I want you to write them down. Do that exercise today. If we can be of any help, if we can help you in any way, shape, or form, don't hesitate to reach out. Do us a favor. You probably have friends out there that need to hear this podcast. Share the podcast with your friends. Subscribe, do all of the above. We're definitely excited that we have you here as a listener. And until next time, I'm Coach Martin. Have an amazing week, and we look forward to seeing you next week.